York's classic rock, Q1043.
Bernie Williams is with us this morning here at Q104.3 on February 29th.
Yes.
A very rare date, and he's here because he has some things to tell us about Rare Disease Day. And before we get into that, I just have a few questions. Mr. Williams, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Of course.
This is a great honor to be here.
A legilegendary New York Yankee. Your
course.
number is retired. Your plaque is in Monument Park. Do you ever go there and look at it?
From time to time, when they're retiring somebody else's number, I kind of take a little peek.
Okay. Major League Baseball players, there are many that are respected. There are many that are admired. There are a few that are remembered forever, and there are even fewer that are beloved. And you fall into that category.
Oh my
Everybody loves Bernie Williams.
Oh, that is such a great thing to say, and thank you so much for that. I mean, I have spent the majority of my adult life living here in New York and being part of this community. And when I started playing with the Yankees, I mean, I was, like every young kid, wide-eyed, impressionable, and not knowing what to expect. And this city just took me with open arms, and I was able to have my great Yankee career here. And we were so fortunate to be on a team that won so many times, in the 90s and early 2000s. They say if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. So I am a testament to that.
But it wasn't just your athletic abilities.
That's right.
It was your character.
Yes.
You fell in love with this town, as you just said, but this town fell in love with you.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit to my parents. They raised me the right way, me and my little brother. Talking a little bit about my dad, he was my hero, and this is one of the reasons why I am the person that I am today, and we're basically make a tribute to his life and remember him, through this campaign, and many other things.
Your father suffered from interstitial lung disease.
Yes.
And that is a part of the reason for your visit with us today on Rare Disease Day.
Yes, that is true. He passed away from idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, which is one of the most common forms of interstitial lung disease, and it's a rare disease. I mean, hence my participation in the day. But it is important for people to know. And that's the reason of my campaign, tuning into lung health, to make sure that we utilize a lot of the resources that are in that website, especially with music and my, coming into music and having a relationship with, the fact that I was a baseball player, but I was also a musician. I went to a performing arts high school, and I know the power of music and how it can be used as a resource, to treat and alleviate some of the symptoms, that all of these diseases have.
Tune into lunghealth.com. That's the website. And you mentioned that interstitial lung disease is rare, but it does affect about 50,000 Americans every year, most of whom don't know that they have it.
Yes, and my father was one of those examples. He was misdiagnosed for 5 years until somebody kind of came with the right diagnosis. And by that time, it was pretty late in the game. We couldn't do anything to help him more. So that's why we are trying to, get people to, get tested. And if they feel some of these symptoms that could be confused with any other, conditions like asthma and bronchitis. And I mean, you'd have some of these symptoms like, dry cough that never goes away. You feel fatigue, going through a flight of stairs, things that you take for granted that you have done normally. You start feeling fatigue and tired. And so those might be, symptoms, that something more serious could be in the horizon.
The great Bernie Williams is with us, and I think one of the frustrations with rare diseases is they don't get as much money for research.
That is true. And that's certainly another reason why we need to create this great awareness so people know and they demand, having these diseases being studied more and have more research and have an opportunity to, make some leeway into, curing them, so more people can live and they don't have to suffer through all this.
Well, a week from today on Thursday, you're going to be at the Beacon Theater performing with a bunch of superstars as part of Love Rocks NYC, which has become a great annual event in New York City. But your participation is also a great annual event.
It is something that I always, I never take for granted. I mean, you go there in this great room where the who's who of, music is performing and giving their time to this great worthy cause. Feeding people is always so important. So I'm just really glad to be part of that as well.
God's love we deliver. And then talk about the big time. Cafe Carlisle.
Ooh,
that's probably the most famous room in New York
classy.
for an intimate performance. April 9th to April 13th. You're going to be there to take the stage. That's, like a real supper club situation.
Old school.
It doesn't get any bigger than that.
Yeah.
They give you a free suite when you're.
That is true.
When they
nice
book you.
That is true. Looking forward to that.
When they book you.
Hey, Bernie, if I had to put you on the spot and say, which was your bigger passion? Is it baseball or is it music?
Wow, that is a really interesting question, and I've been asked that question many times, and the best way that I can answer it is that I utilize both disciplines to fulfill my life. I think music has helped me so much as a baseball player. As you know, music is about timing. One right note in the right place at the right time could touch your heart. Baseball, you have to have that timing to hit the ball in the right place at the right time when it comes to the plate, getting a good jump on the ball, and conversely, playing under pressure, playing in this big city of New York, being in the spotlight has helped me so much. Being on stage and having that light, shine, for it's one time to get it right. Having an opportunity to play with teammates. My bandmates are teammates, and it's all about the music. In baseball, it was all about the team and winning championships. In my bandstand, it's all about the music and making sure that the sum of the parts are worth, people listening to. So there's a lot of similarities, and I try to use both, throughout the course of my life, and they have served me well.
Well, athlete, composer, guitarist, philanthropist, Bernie Williams with us. The first album was in 2003.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 21 years ago.
I was still playing baseball, yeah.
The Journey Within.
Yes.
And that, it reached number 3 on Billboard's jazz chart. And moving forward, that was 2009. That debuted in the number 2 slot on Billboard's chart. You've had a couple of number 1 recordings. You had a Grammy nomination.
Latin Grammy nomination,
okay,
yeah.
But
very proud of it.
2003 was the first record.
Yes.
Yet in 2016... you earned your bachelor's degree in jazz performance.
Yes.
You went back to school.
Went back to school, the Manhattan School of Music. And it was funny because I had to figure out what to do. After 2006, I retired from baseball. And there was this period of my life that I was kind of like, a tug of war between what am I going to do, with the rest of my life. And I said, well, you know what? I've been playing music since I was a little kid. And I was, had high sights of being an orthopedic doctor at some point in my life. But my mom, she was an educator in the public education system in Puerto Rico. And she was always trying to get me to finish my college education. So I figured, hey, you know what? Maybe I should just do it in music. This is something that is really close and near to my heart, so I say, might as well. It makes sense. So I personally called the Manhattan School of Music for an audition, and they said, "Yeah, right." And I'm Mario Andretti.
You already had Grammy nomination.
Yeah, but I am telling you, the Manhattan School of Music experience was something that was so important, and it made so much sense in my life because I knew that I went there to learn how to play. And I knew that I needed to go through that process. But the question that I was able to answer was the why. Why am I going through all of this, becoming a musician? And I think there's a huge responsibility for people that make music. And it's just such a powerful thing to be able to do, that you definitely treat it with the respect that it deserves. And it was just such an enlightening experience for me to go to college and graduate. And now, like they say in New York, I'm just another cat looking for a gig.
Well, 1 week from today, Love Rocks NYC at the Beacon Theater. For God's Love We Deliver. Then April 9th through the 13th, the Cafe Carlisle at the world-famous Carlisle Hotel. And visit tuneintolunghealth.com. Now, you've teamed up with whom on that campaign?
Well, I have teamed up with a lot of people in the tuneintolunghealth.com website. There's a curated playlist. I also have Eric Vitro, which is a vocalist that I've worked with so many of these current musicians and vocalists. He has breathing exercises for people to take advantage of and use it as a resource. So there's a lot of people there in that website, a lot of resources, and I just try to get everybody to go to tuneintolunghealth.com to get more information.
And we want to thank our friends at Boehringer Ingelheim, and it's tuneintolunghealth.com. Bernie Williams, thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you so much for having me. Such a blessing. Thank you.
New York's classic rock, Q1043.